Welcome to the Grow Your Law Firm podcast, brought to you by Pilma. This podcast helps lead lawyers to more growth, profit, and freedom. Here is your legal marketing expert and host, Ken Hardison.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Ken Hardison, and welcome to another episode of Grow Your Law Firm. And today we have the pleasure of having Alex Valencia, who is the co-owner of We Do Web Content, a law firm digital content-based marketing company. And known Alex for many, many years. Glad to have you on the show.
Thank you, Ken. It's a pleasure to be here, man. You've been an epic part of our growth and our company. So happy to be here. Thank you, and so stoked for September. Happy to see everybody back on the road and be at another successful Pilma conference.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and announce it now. Thank you I won't want to do that to the end, but I'll go ahead and do it because I'll forget. We're going to go hybrid on this because of everything going on with COVID. So, we still got about 300 people signed up for it right now, and then everything just stopped a couple of weeks ago when everything the surge. But so far nobody's canceled. And so what we're going to do is several things. Then we're going to have it where we're going to live stream it. So if you can go ahead and sign up, and if you want to go, you can go. If you decide you don't want to go, you can just see it live, and we'll give you a video copy of it at the end, unedited, I might say. But we're going to require mask and either proof of vaccine or a negative test that's been done within 72 hours. And that's just not us. That's the governor of Louisiana has done that. So if anybody's having doubts about it either way, just come on and sign up, and you can either come or you can do it virtually, whatever. But I don't want you to miss this content because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to sell just the videos of this. If I do, I'll sell them for whatever I'm selling the seats for, because I don't think it's fair to people to wait. So anyway, let's get back to you because you're the star of the show, not me. So here's the deal. SEO, I hear lawyers all the time talking about it in my masterminds. They're getting frustrated with it. Alex, Google's got everything now with the LSA ads, the PPC, the maps, and then you got all these directories that are coming up at the top. So there's just not a lot of damn space left on the front page of Google. And I know you got the other ones, Bings and Yahoos, but that's, what is it? 80, 90% of the search is done on Google. So it's always coming out with different changes. But one thing that it keeps coming up is if you've got good relevant content. So can you expound on that? I mean, why is content so darn important to get you on the first page of Google?
Well, content is the backbone of any marketing strategy, and especially any SEO strategy that you're implementing. Without content, Google doesn't have a page to render. Without content, Google doesn't have the opportunity to put those LSA ads, or to put the local maps, or to sell any ads on their page. So the more content that you're creating for your website and that you're submitting to Google, the more opportunity that they have to create longer pages so they can place those ads on there, right? So not only does content benefit Google, so they have, it starts expanding more their website and their database, but it starts expanding the opportunity for them to place ads on there. Yeah, it pushes it down, but 69% of the people are still clicking on organic listings, anywhere between the first and sixth position. And a lot of people, it's been proven that they also decide based on the meta description that has, that's going a little further into it. But content's the backbone. Like, without content, a user isn't going to find the information they're looking for, right? When you're searching for something, when you're doing a frequently asked question, when you're buying a product, obviously we're talking about lawyers. So when you're searching for an attorney, one of the pages that we get the most traffic on a lot of our sites is, why should I hire an attorney after an accident? If you don't have that page on your website, you're missing out. And if you're not localizing it, even worse, right? Because you don't want to compete nationally for it. But content is still the main source of everything that happens, right? You can't create a site without content. You can't fill a query without it. You can't show the ads without content. Content is the backbone of everything. So content is still important. Google loves it. Google wants it. By relevancy, they mean they want your website to have a theme, right? Always think of your website as a certain has a certain theme. So most people that are on here, this is Pilma, you're a personal injury lawyer. The theme of your website is your location, personal injury lawyer, right? So personal injury lawyer in Kansas. Everything on that website should be about personal injury lawyer in Kansas, Kansas car accident lawyer, slip and fall, DUI. I mean, what do I do if I've been in an accident in the DUI, right? It's kind of criminal and personal injury. Uber accidents, those bikes, like you can get into primary, secondary, tertiary type services and locations within your content to expand the amount of opportunities that you have. It's like throwing different fishing rods into the water. And that's what the importance of content in. And what's happening now that, what we're seeing in 2021 is a lot of revamps because, we've heard word count, we've heard quality, we've heard relevancy for years, but there's really never a number. And it really just comes down to reverse engineering your competition. If the competition in your market has a 3,000 word car accident page, you need to make sure you're writing a better page than they do. That's not only relevancy, but it's also competition. In the SEO world, in a very competitive market, your competitors are definitely watching what you're doing. And if you're behind them and they see you trickling up, they're going to increase their content. They're going to increase their link building. They're going to go after it because they don't want to get beat. What we saw in early 2019, 2020 is a lot of law firms really invest into the organic and go hard, like developing 400,000 words a month, 50,000 words a month. They really went heavy. And, luckily for them, because it built that foundation and it built that pipeline that they may have missed out on during the pandemic.
So is it the word count or is it what you really say? Because in the bottom line, Google's looking at how long people stay on your pages and how interested they are, or that sort of thing, or.
So it's not really word count. You can't, because you can answer a question in 500 words. So if your competitors are answering a question within 500 words, then you're writing a 500 word page. If you know more information that you can add to it, statutes or anything specific about a case that you can add to a page that'll keep it relevant, that may help you rank more. Obviously the authority that's coming to the site weighs in as well, but it doesn't really just come down to one aspect of what you need to do. It's looking at it all, right? You're doing your competitor research, you're doing your keyword research, you're figuring out that the page's headings, the URL structure, the internal linking within the site is all formatted by design to help you rank that page.
And when you say internal linking, is that where you got the little blue words that you click on and it'll take you to another page in your website?
Yeah, so that's a whole strategy within SEO to organize the site, right? You want to think of everything as a silo. Your top theme, your main pages, your sub pages, your third category pages, right? Think of it as a pyramid. So everything has legs to it. Every page will have additional legs, and those legs link into other pages that may also link back to bring juice to some of the pages that you need. But it shows relevancy, right? Like we'll create a glossary of locations. So if somebody wants to be a personal injury lawyer in Houston, Texas, we're going to create a glossary of all the cities in Houston, Texas, and create pages that are specific to all the practice areas that they want to rank for those cities as well. So all that's creating different legs and opportunities. It's not only content, but it's also the design and thought of the website and the development to make sure you're organizing everything correctly. It's like a library.
Well, I'm not saying I believe this, but I want to hear your take on it. I hear a lot of lawyers say, well, I make my lawyers write so many, words a week or something, whatever. I just don't think non-lawyers can write it, What's your take on that? Because I don't agree with it, but I want to know what you think.
Yeah, I think that's a great take. I like it when attorneys write. I love it when attorneys blog for a purpose, right? If you're an estate planner, if you're a business lawyer, a commercial lawyer, if you're a lawyer talking on a specific case or a tort, go ahead and blog about it, write specific things about it, but you don't understand how to format and write a page for search. Google's looking for that. There's certain headings, subheadings, bullet points that we know how to format. We've been formatting the style of these pages for 13 years. There's a strategy to it, right? I'm not going to go out and try to do my own personal injury case, right? And hire my own doctor and do my case. Same thing goes for SEO and content, right? You don't want to go in and try to do that. We've gotten so many clients where their attorneys were writing, where we had to redo everything because they're writing attorney to attorney. An attorney is a very good writer. They write well, but they're writing for a master graduate level where no one understands what the hell they're saying. So you got to write at a 6th to 8th grade level to capture the clients that you're going for and make it very easy for the search engines to scan the page and for a human to scan the page, because it doesn't matter about bounce rate on a site. The idea behind a personal injury site, because they need you now, right? They're not looking for a personal injury lawyer in the future. It's because something happened. How much information do I need to pick up the phone and call or to fill out that contact form? That's what you want. Google always says you're writing for the user. Yeah, we want to make sure we inform the user, and Google knows how to scan that to make sure all the information is in there. But we're really writing for Google. We want Google to rank your page so the user can find it. But the user typically isn't reading your whole page. They may read some of your page, go to your contact, figure out who you are, go to your bio. Your bio is one of those things. All right, who's this attorney? How many cases did he win? Can he win my case, right? So they're finding that out. Those are the additional pages that they're looking at. But your page has to be written and optimized so Google can rank it and the user can find it. And when you're writing that page, and here's something that I recently told my editing and writing team, because, just like with anything, you start finding some errors. When I start reviewing a page, I want to make sure the term and the location is all the way through the page, right? Because Google scans it so quicker than we could ever imagine. So think of a private investigator or an FBI agent going out and looking for clues, right? They walk up to a house and they see footprints. They walk in the door, footprints, and then they disappear. They start looking, everything's gone. Okay, we probably have the wrong house. Same thing goes for Google. You gave them a good URL, you gave them a good page title, you gave them a good H1 heading, an H2, but then the rest of your paragraphs diluted. There's no more information about the location. There's no more information about the specific practice area. You started going into other practice areas, other services, and now you lost Google. And they're like, all right, I'm out. I'm going to go to another website that has the right information. Create the content all the way through and finish it. Call to action to everything.
I want to follow up on that. I always tell people when they're writing these books and ebooks and things to write them on a 7th, 8th grade level. So that coincides with what I've always been taught. Do y'all use any? We use some software. Do you got any recommendations? Any software that you can run your Word documents through that kind of tells you what grade level it is?
I love Grammarly. I use Grammarly quite a bit. Surprisingly, being part owner of the company, I'm a horrible writer, so people write my stuff for me. But we use Grammarly. We just built our own software system, so everything's proprietary. So we've developed our own editors and dictionaries and libraries within ours based on client profiles and bar associations and just different editor rules that we follow for our formatting. So that's what we've started using, but I like Grammarly. I think there's another one. I forget, it's called Doctor something, but Grammarly's a great one because you can adjust it and you can adjust the dictionary as well.
Yeah. I use a Hemingway app.
Hemingway, yeah. Yeah, Hemingway's a good one.
Yeah, it's like Ernest Hemingway, but with APP at the end.
Right.
I learned that a long time ago, which I'm the same way. I'm terrible writer. I can come up with the meat, but I'll have to have somebody else put it.
Go in and edit. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm like most lawyers. When I start writing, I can write, heretofore and all this stuff, and it sounds, it's legalese, and people.
Right.
I call it the legal mumbo jumbo, and potential clients just don't want to hear that junk. They want to know, sitting here thinking about this, and it's the whole premise of all my marketing was done on it's educational based marketing. You're educating the consumer. That's really so. The more you can educate the consumer, it's what I'm hearing. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but you tell me. The more you can educate them and inform them, the better your website's probably going to do.
Exactly. Think of your website as a small Wikipedia. So think of it when you're building it, when you're organizing it, when you're developing the content strategy. Think of absolutely every question that someone can ask. Drop those in the FAQs. Fill out every single service area. The same thing goes for your local Google My Business. Most people mess up not filling out completely and using every opportunity there. The same thing goes with your content and your service areas, right? How will someone know what you offer if you don't have it on there? And how will they know what market you service it in if you don't have a specific location for it as well. Don't compete nationally. Make sure you localize your content.
Absolutely. So let me ask you about this. I know this is not your deal. I mean, you provide written content, but videos, what's your take on videos?
I love videos, but Google reads text. So the idea behind video is to use it to help rank your current pages, have them on YouTube, also put them on something like Wistia so you can embed it on your site. If you're just going to use the video content, which you can, make sure you have it transcribed and edited so Google can read that and the user can read it as well. So video is necessary. I love it. We've started working with some companies to help create video and help it for the optimization of current pages. So it's not only the content, but it's also a video about the content. So it's very important. It's good for the page. It's good for the user. Google loves it.
Hey, all you listeners. Be sure to join us at the 2021 PILMA Super Summit in Washington, D.C. at the Grand Hyatt Hotel, September 29 to October 2nd. For more details, be sure to check out our website at www.pilma.org. That's www.pilmma.org. Thank you very much.
So if you could give people out there 3 or 4, whatever, really good tips on what they should do to create more and better content or help their website, what would you tell them, these lawyers, to do?
Stop blogging and start creating service practice areas. Start looking at your competitors and look at the formatting of how a page should be structured. Don't write for attorneys. Don't write for your peers. Write for your clients. Give yourself, when hiring, right? I don't suggest any attorney should do this work on their own. If they don't have the budget, then do it on your own. If you have the budget to hire someone, hire an agency that has several touch points on a piece of content. Because what you're going to find is it's going to come out being more expensive when you buy it from a writer, because there is no editor, there's no optimizer. So what we're seeing with competitive content agencies is they'll charge for a piece of content, then they'll charge for editing, then they'll charge for optimizing, then they'll charge for posting, then they'll charge for an image. By the time you get it, it's $500. So you're losing money regardless, when you could have come to someone like us who does it all, and we've been doing it right, and we've been kicking ass and ranking people for over 13 years. We've written over 500 million pages of content. And, for some of the top 100 law firms in the country that are still doing well, we've included mass torts, criminal, family. So, I would continue it. And then again, first and foremost, do not do anything without a plan. Do not start writing anything without a content strategy and research. Don't just start writing because some guru out there told you need to start blogging or writing for your website. That's been one of our arguments forever. Like, I still have clients call me, or potential clients call me, can you blog for me? And I talk them out of it. And whether they want to work with us or not, I won't blog. I won't blog until they have foundational content, because we're going to get fired. If they already have their foundational content, then blogging and creating frequently asked questions isn't bad. But what happens with blogging is some of it is not an evergreen. So if you are going to blog, make sure you're creating evergreen blogs that are specific to a case or something that's going to help enhance the internal pages of your website.
Yeah, I remember years ago, and I know you remember the same thing, when the big deal was, not everybody said, yo, you got a blog, but whether you put the blog inside your website or outside of your website. Now it's just, I guess it's just common protocol to put it inside the website.
Yeah, before they just wanted to sell you another blog, an external blog. It was a great deal for the website agencies to get you to pay for 2 separate websites, an external blog and a website. But it's like splitting your budget. There's no point. Keep it all in one house.
Yeah. So what are some things I haven't covered that's important that our lawyers ought to know about as far as content marketing and SEO? And
so it's not just the website content, right? Now we have so many opportunities. Like, look at the studio I've built. Like, same thing with you, right? Podcasting has become huge. It's such a great opportunity for you to deliver content that you love, that you can share, that you can join with other colleagues. Like, you can be a personal injury, criminal, family lawyer with friends all over the nation that from law schools. You can blog and create a whole link strategy just by being on each other's shows, right? And now you've created content. Like imagine all the content we develop on here that you can cut up now and use on social media. These are great opportunities that you can do, especially now after the pandemic. Most people are working from home, whether you're back at the office or not. You have time to create video. You have time for a 30-minute video that you can get transcribed and turn it into maybe 2 weeks of content, right? Start creating that. Start really thinking outside of the box. Once you do that plan, what do I want to talk about? Who do I want to have on the show? What's the purpose, right? Is my purpose to get links? Is my purpose to create a whole different audience? Is it to create a new persona and a new side business? Figure that out, map it out, right? Don't do anything without mapping it out. Map it out, create it, start inviting some guests and talking to them, and then get that stuff transcribed. Work with a nice, good social media agency that'll put all the graphics and all the assets together nicely, because it's not something you should be doing on your own. It's super consuming. And start growing your followers. There's such a good opportunity there. Email marketing. I mean, I know you're huge with email marketing. We used to. I
get
still
emails
love
from
it.
me all the time.
I'm sorry.
Did you get so many emails from me, right?
Yeah, and I mean, and people get them from me. They get pissed off, and I know. Chris was saying at their conference, they sent out like 300 million emails to get people to their thing, right? Like, how annoying would that have been for everyone? But email still works, right? Like, every person that comes to your site and fills out that form should fall into a lead funnel. During the case, after the case, with video, right? Include video in those emails and create those marketing campaigns, right? You never know the referral business that you're able to get by being nice, saying happy birthday to someone, wishing them a good holiday time, telling them in Florida, like one of our email marketing campaigns for one of our clients, how to get ready for the hurricanes, back to school stuff, right? People forget it. You get an email or a reminder or something. Hey, we're doing this thing. We're giving away backpacks, something that keeps people coming back to you, right? You don't want to forget them. If they're a client, make sure they're a client for life. They're going to have a friend that they're going to need you. And email marketing is the way to do it. And, social media as well too, but it's just a little bit more complicated. But once you have the content, you can share it, right? An email marketing campaign goes out, it should go alongside your blog posting at this time and your social media.
Yeah, I call it top of mind awareness.
Yes.
You want to stay top of mind, because lawyers feel like, they do a good job or get a guy or a girl a lot of money that they're going to remember them when they don't remember them for life.
Right.
If they do remember them, and you ever had that deal where you say, yeah, you need to go get, because it's been 3 years, and you remember what they look like, you even remember, what the office looked like, but you can't remember the name of the firm, and maybe they've moved, who knows?
Right, exactly. You never know.
Yeah, and it's that's why it's so important.
Yep.
I just can't stress that enough. I mean, I think that's great advice.
And another thing I want to add that's been super successful with a handful of our clients is partnering up with the radio agencies. I just partnered with a good friend of mine, Gary, who's a whiz at buying radio time. When you find someone that brands you so well with that kind of content alongside a good SEO strategy, it's not so much finding you on page one, but recognizing your name now. And those two go hand in hand. I know a lot of people spend tons of money on TV, and I think part of that's ego. With radio, it's more cost effective. You may reach a lot more people. And the argument of people being on Sirius all the time, there's only a certain demographic on Sirius radio and doing and listening to different things. So you have a lot of opportunity there to really put those two together, your organic and radio and your social media and all those strategies together to work for you effectively and make it cost effective.
Yeah, it's just like all this streaming and everything. I mean, everybody's starting to go to, advertise, but the deal is your blue collar workers, they can't afford, just like they're not going to be buying Pandora and Sirius either.
Right.
They're going to be popping what's free.
Right. And they're listening to morning talk shows. They're listening to sports, right? You got to know how to buy that time and really get in their face, right? Like, we have a client who knows how to buy time. Well, my friend knows how to buy his time so well that he's built his business on a certain demographic. So, they probably get 250, 300 cases a month, but they're not your $10,000, $12,000, $3,000, like $20,000 car accidents. They're 50, 150, 75, 300 grand, 150, a million, 2 million. They've targeted a certain audience in this demographic by doing radio well and organic well.
Yeah, we're always looking for the next deal, right? I mean, you got any idea what the next deal is? What the next big deal is?
I don't know, man. At API and I wish I did. I just know I need to stay on top of content generation, top of Google. A lot of people are afraid of these electric cars in the next 10 years that, PI might be tough. So, we really got to be innovative and figure out how our PI attorneys going to be able to surpass when, it's going to be forever before everybody has an electric car. But, they know when another car is next to them, it's going to avoid a lot of infractions. And so kind of being ahead of that and maybe start writing about it and being the pioneers of the people that are really getting into that space, really analyzing it and finding the data of what they feel the numbers are going to be reduced by and what you can do as an attorney to get in front of it.
Well, good deal, man. Any parting words before you give out your contact information?
Nothing's going to happen without you beginning. So if you're not doing anything right now, if you're holding back for any reason, you got to get started, right? If you don't have the right content on your website, no one's going to find you. Just like if you didn't have an address, right? You're missing a number in your address, no one's going to find you. So get going on something, whether you can afford a full SEO strategy or a pay-per-click strategy or just a content strategy. Start somewhere. We do just content packages for people that can't afford a full SEO strategy, which has worked great. We're back to the days where, content can work without a full SEO strategy if you have a healthy website. It's not going to work as great without the authority, but it can work and it gets you started. It's your jump start ahead. And when you can afford to do the link authority and some of the technical SEO and some of the architectural stuff that SEOs do, you can really start ranking and pushing your website to the next level and, taking some market share from your competitors, which is what we want to do.
So if people want to get up with you or, follow up with questions or even hire you, how can they do that, Alex?
Well, I'm Alex Valencia. I'm at WeDoWebContent.com. And my phone number is 954-648-0565. That's my direct line. I talk to all of our clients. I love having a personal relationship, type of guy you want to have a drink, a beer, or coffee with. So, hopefully I can meet you guys at Pilma. And my email is at alex@WeDoWebContent.com.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much for being with us today. Very informative. You taught me a couple of things today that I wasn't sure about. So appreciate you taking time to do this.
Thank you so much for having me, Ken. You always a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you in New Orleans.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So until next time, this is Ken Hardison, dedicated to your success.
You have been listening to the Grow Your Law Firm podcast, the podcast that leads lawyers to more growth, profit, and freedom. Go to growyourlawfirm.com to find more ways to market and manage your law firm. Please leave us a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcasts.